So, dear students, let's start with the revision of poems. First poem is The Road Not Taken. Okay. So, in this poem, the poet he deals with the theme that how we come across different choices in our lives, choices, alternatives, and along with those choices, we also face the dilemma. Dilemma means the confusion. Which choice to opt for, the decisions that we want to take, and when we get these choices, we are tempted to take all the choices. We want to relish all the kind of choices, but here, the poet he wants us to take a cautious approach. He wants us to think wisely before taking any decision. Because once we take a decision, then we have to face the consequences in future as well. So the consequences are going to be fruitful or it is going to bring problems. It will depend on the decisions that we take. And thus the poet warns us through this poem that we should be little cautious while taking decisions. We should never take a decision in a hurry. Thus, think for the consequences, what the consequences could be in the future, and on the basis of that take your wise decision. So through this poem, The Road Not Taken, the road here is the symbolic of different choices in life. Okay? The road, it is symbolic of different choices in life. And the poet says that as we are an individual, being an individual, we cannot travel on different roads simultaneously. So here roads are choices, and when we get choices, we face dilemma, but we should take wise decisions. So thus, the poet in the first stanza, he takes the example of road. The poet, he was on his journey and he was crossing through the woods. Yellow wood he described. So wood here is forest, jungle, and yellow symbolizes the season, autumn. So the wood, the forest, the trees, the leaves on the trees, they have turned yellow, and thus the leaves fallen on the ground, they are decomposing, and thus it is providing a picture of yellow forest. So the forest in autumn season where the leaves have fallen and are getting decomposed. He comes at a point of divergence. So the road is diverging into two paths. Diverging means दो दिशा में बट गया वो एक रास्ता. So here road is symbolic of choices. And thus he stood there. He says, sorry, I could not travel both, be one traveler, and thus long I stood. He regrets that he could not travel on both roads as being an individual, but he says, I stood long there to make the right choice. He stood there thinking cautiously which road to choose. And he just looked down one as far as I could. So as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. So he stood there. He started observing the first road. And he looked to the point where the road was turning. Undergrowth refers to the thicket, the bushes. So through that path where it bent, he tried to look, means the road, up to the point where the road was visible, he kept on looking and thinking. And then in the second stanza, he said that then took the other just as fair. And then he looked at the second road. And it looked quite challenging, promising, equally promising like the first one. And perhaps having the better claim. And he felt that the second road was better than the first one. And he said because it was grassy and wanted wear. Means there was still some grass on the path. जब आप देखो जैसे किसी ऐसे रास्ते से गुजरे हो जहाँ बहुत घास होती है एंड जहाँ पर बहुत ज़्यादा लोगों ने पास किया हो उस रास्ते से तो कदमों के निशान की वजह से घास दब जाती है उस रास्तों पर, right? So when he saw the second road, he saw that it was grassy and less number of people have walked on that road. when he says about the first one, that though as for that passing there, so that refers to the first road. That if I talk about the first one, a good number of people have trodden on that road. काफी लोगों ने उस रास्ते को चुना और वहां से वो गुजरे हैं. Had worn them really about the same. ठीक है, तो इस तरह से जो पहला रास्ता है उस पर बहुत सारे लोगों ने वहां से वो गुजरे हैं. But it is and both that morning equally late. That morning is on the morning when the poet was at the point of divergence. जिस सुबह poet वहां थे, he says both the roads equally lay, means the condition of roads was quite the same. Why? In leaves no step had trodden black. That morning, the leaves that were there on the path, they were still uncrushed. कहने का क्या मतलब है कि जो पत्ते उन रास्तों पर उस सुबह गिरे हुए थे, दोनों ही रास्तों पर उस सुबह कोई भी नहीं गुजरा था. So the leaves were still untrodden, uncrushed. इसलिए had trodden black कि कोई भी step उन पर नहीं पड़ा है. तो उस morning nobody has passed through those roads. So with regret then he says, oh, I kept the first for another day. And then the poet is now making a decision. But he is also regretting that he has left the first road. He has kept the first road for some other day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. As always, one road leads to another. आप अगर किसी एक रास्ते पर चलते हो, suppose you are going towards Amritsar, so the road one way or the other it will get connected and it will take you to Amritsar. It will not take you to Ludhiana, right? So एक रास्ता दूसरे से जुड़ता जाता है and it takes you towards a particular direction. So I know how one way leads to the other. I doubted if I should ever come back, and he was in doubt also whether he would be able to come back for the other road. क्या वो उस दूसरे रास्ते के लिए कभी वापस आ पाएगा या नहीं? So what is the symbolic reference here? Deeper meaning क्या है? The poet wants to say that once you make a choice, you cannot turn back to your previous decisions. If you have taken a decision, that you have to bear the consequences as well in the future. And then in the last concluding stanza, he says, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence. So ages and ages hence means years later, he would be able to tell whether he had reached his destination or not, whether he was successful or not. But he says, at the moment the poet cannot tell you anything. So in many reference books, some wrong points are mentioned, that poet is regretting for making his decision. No. In the concluding stanza, he is not regretting. He is just telling that about the consequences he would be able to tell only once he reaches his destination. Is it clear? But at the moment he says it can be, I shall be telling with a sigh of relief हो सकता है, sigh of pain भी हो सकता है. But whatever the situation will be, he can only tell years later, but not at the moment. And then he says, two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less travelled by. So, which road he has chosen?
The one less travelled.
Very good. The one which is less travelled by. That is the second road. And he says, and that has made all the difference. He says that the decision now that I have taken, it will now shape my future. And then he says that the decision that I have taken has set the course of my life. It has put me onto a particular direction, and now I have to move on into that direction. So this is all about the poem, The Road Not Taken. Okay, clear hai beta? Just take a quick look if there is any doubt left.
But why does the author choose the road which is less travelled by?
Yes. Tell me why he has chosen. Because he does not want to go on the path where a good number of people have gone. He wants to try some new path because he is adventurous in nature. He wants to experiment, he wants to try new paths in his life. ठीक है, जैसे आप देखो, when you will complete 10th standard, then you have to make a decision whether to take medical, non-medical, commerce. But apart from these three streams, there are other streams as well. These are considered as main streams. So a good number of students, they opt for these streams. What about the others? So if you want to try something else in your life, if you want to go for into some different career lines, then you have to choose different streams. Now there can be hotel management, fashion designing, tourism. Those are different fields where very rare people, they go for those kind of things. So if you want to accept challenges in your life, because he said, no, the first one, it had a better claim, it was more promising, more challenging. So he wants to take up that challenge, and that's why he had chosen the second road. Clear, beta? Any other query? Is it clear? Are you sure? Okay, I'll start question answers once we revise the other 2 points. Our next poem is wind. So what is the wind symbolic of in this poem? Wind.
The difficulties that we face.
Very good. The difficulties, the obstacles, the adversities that we face in our life. Right? Now through this poem, the poet has taken he has drawn an image of wind. So on superficial level, what he says, that how wind makes fun of the weakling. And through the example of wind, he wants to tell us that it is the way of the world. That the people who are in power, they just kick away the weak ones. The way this wind, it just extinguishes, blows out the weak fire. दिए की जो लौ होती है, तेज हवा चलती है तो बुझ जाती है. But वही on the contrary, the fire that breaks out in the forest, wind क्या करती है? It thrives it more. जंगल की आग और भड़क जाती है तेज हवाओं से. So that way the poet tells that no one cares for the weak. So if you want to make friends with the wind, make the houses and doors strong. So वो क्या कहना चाहते हैं? So if you want to face the challenges in your life, the adversities bravely in your life, then make yourself strong physically, mentally and emotionally as well. Is it clear, beta? So the central idea is this through the poem. So let me just give a quick recap of the poem. So how we see in the beginning lines, the poet, he addresses the wind, which is not present at the moment. He says, wind comes softly, don't break the shutters of the windows, don't scatter the papers, don't throw down the books on the shelf. Now we see that how weak things are susceptible to break. राइट हवा चलती है तो आसानी से अगर कमजोर जो विंडो पेन है अगर वो वीक है तो वो हवा से टूट जाती है ना, उसके कांच टूट जाते हैं. सो दैट वे व्हाट हैपेंस, दीज थिंग्स दे शैटर इन फ्रंट ऑफ द विंड व्हेन द विंड ब्लोज दैट वे. सो पोएट इज टेलिंग द विंड टू कम सॉफ्टली, कम जेंटली, so that it does not actually break the shutters of the windows or scatter the papers. But क्या विंड किसी की बात सुनती है? नहीं. So he says, there, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. The poet then he is expressing his displeasure that how the wind has destroyed everything, how it has created disturbance, how the wind has scattered the papers, broken the window panes, and it has brought rain as well. The wind also makes fun of the weakling. Poking means laughing at the weaklings, the weak things. It seems as if ये जो wind है, ये कमजोरों का मजाक उड़ा रही है. Next he says, how frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. So the situation is made worse by the wind, and he says that the things which are fragile, which are very weak, what does it do? It breaks them. कमजोर दरवाजे, खिड़कियां, even कमजोर घर जो होते हैं वो टूट जाते हैं. Similar way, the people who are weak-hearted, those who don't have the strong will, when they face adversities, they break down. They lose their courage and strength, and they just surrender in front of the adversities. The wind calls winnows and crushes them all. Winnow means to separate. It separates the weak from the stronger ones and then it crushes the weak ones. So poet says that he won't do what you tell him. Wind kabhi tumhari baat nahi sunegi. Adversities, they will never look at your miserable condition. What will happen then? So he says, come let's build strong homes, let's join the doors firmly. तो वो हमें सजेशन देते हैं कि टू फेस द विंड, टू फेस द एडवर्सिटीज. तो विंड को फेस करना है तो लेट्स बिल्ड स्ट्रॉन्ग हाउसेस, स्ट्रॉन्ग डोर्स, विंडोज. एंड इफ वी हैव टू फेस द एडवर्सिटीज then let's make our heart steadfast. Practice to firm the body and heart steadfast. Steadfast का एक मीनिंग लॉयल भी होता है, यहाँ पर मतलब है फर्म बनाना, मजबूत बनाना. तो घरों को स्ट्रॉन्ग करिए और मुश्किलों का सामना करने के लिए अपने आप को स्ट्रॉन्ग करिए. Is it clear up to this part? Then he says, do this, the wind will be friends with us. So if we make ourselves strong, if we make our home strong, the wind will become our friend. The adversities will become our friend. तो friend क्या करते हैं? They support you in times of adversity. तो wind, ये जो adversity के रूप में आप अगर इसको अपना दोस्त बना लेते हो, तो you will come out of it as a better person. Adversities आपको बेहतर इंसान बना देती है. It makes you more strong. And then the poet says, the wind blows out weak fires, he makes strong fires roar and flourish. So he again justifies the statement by giving an example. That weak fires, they are blown out by the wind, but he flourishes, he thrives the strong fire, the fire in the jungle. And his friendship is good. So the weak ones, they suffer, but if you make wind as your friend, by becoming strong, then what will happen? His friendship will prove to be good for you. We praise him every day. So thus, we should always accept challenges, adversities in our life. We should not run away from it. मुश्किलें ups and downs life में होती हैं, but हमें उन मुश्किल situations में कभी डर के भागना नहीं चाहिए. We should be brave enough to face those challenges in life. So what will happen? If we befriend these difficulties, we become stronger. So thus, the poet tells that make yourself physically, mentally and emotionally strong. तो अगर हवा से, तेज तूफानी हवाओं से बचना है तो घरों को स्ट्रॉन्ग करिए, विंडो पेन, डोर्स को स्ट्रॉन्ग करिए. अगर मुश्किलों से बचना है तो अपने आप को स्ट्रॉन्ग करिए, फिजिकली भी, मेंटली भी एंड इमोशनली. दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द पोएम विंड. डिफरेंट पोएटिक डिवाइसेस आर यूज्ड हियर. एक सिंबॉलिज्म है वेयर द विंड इज सिंबॉलिक ऑफ difficulties. Images are used, how the windows, the shutters of the windows are breaking, papers are getting scattered. ठीक है. Then alliteration is used. Alliteration क्या होता है? Where a consonant sound of a letter is repeated. Like wind god winnows, the W sound is repeated here, right? Then repetition is used. Crumbling, crumbling, crumbling. The word is repeated here. So these poetic devices you must learn. That yes. So this way, beta, learn these poetic devices. You all are aware of all kinds of poetic devices: simile, metaphor, alliteration, repetition, personification. So you must learn these and find out those poetic devices in the poem. Is it clear? So let's quickly move on to the third poem. Then we will start with the question-answer round. Rain on the roof, quote Skinny is the poet here. Now this is a kind of poem where the poet has shown his love for nature. And the poet believes that how nature has a healing power. Nature has its own music and rhythm, and also it has healing power. प्रकृति भी आपको अपने दुख दर्द को भुलाने में मदद करती है. So, जो ब्यूटीफुल म्यूजिक क्रिएट होता है, लाइक जब बारिश की बूंदें छत पे गिरती हैं, द पीटर पैटर साउंड, वो भी एक म्यूजिकल नोट है ना? हवाओं का चलना, उसमें से जो साउंड प्रोड्यूस होती है. सो इट इज onto the one who is looking and observing these things. An onlooker, how he beholds the beauty in his eyes. It is up to you whether you are able to listen to that music of the nature. So poet is able to listen to that, and he enjoys the pitter-patter drops on the tiles of the roof of his house. So he says that when he listens to those pitter-patter raindrops, he also gets many recollections from his memories. The imagination, the fancy that takes place in his mind, and along with that, how those recollections, they bring back the memory of his mother as well. So let's quickly take stanza-wise and understand. So we see that how the poet is in all praise for the rain shower. So when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, so before the rain starts falling, clouds appear in the sky. So he says that humid shadows hover. Humid shadows are refers to the vapor-laden clouds. बादल, जो पानी से भरे बादल, dark clouds जब आते हैं आकाश में, they hover, it seems as if they are floating in the sky, they are wavering in the sky, all over the starry spheres. Spheres are refers to sky, and it is night time, and the sky is full of stars. And the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. Melancholy refers to sadness. So darkness, as it is night time, so metaphor is used here. Melancholy darkness, metaphor is used in the next line where it is said that rainy tears. Rainy tears is actually compared with the raindrops. Clear, beta? So the sadness could be felt as the dark clouds, they start hovering in the sky, and it seems as if the sky is gently weeping. And what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. So as the rain has started, the poet, he loves to lie on the bed and listen to the pattered drops of the rain. And he could feel the bliss means the blessing, nature's blessing, the musical note of the raindrops. And he loves to lie, keep his head on the pillow and listen to those drops. And here the poetic device is onomatopoeia. टिप टिप बारिश की आवाज, जब जैसे hissing of the snake होता है, buzzing of the bees होती हैं, means the word and the sound are similar. So here pitter patter, टिप 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 बूंदों की आवाज, तो यहाँ patter जब word यूज हुआ है, it is the poetic device onomatopoeia. So he loves listening to the pitter patter raindrops. Lie listening, alliteration here, the L sound is, the L sound is repeated. Then in the second stanza he says, every tinkle on the shingles. Tinkle means the ringing sound, the musical note on the shingles or the wooden tiles of the roof has an echo in my heart. He could feel the musical sound of rain in his heart as well. The musical note, so उसको वो उसकी echo को अपने दिल में महसूस कर पा रहा है. And 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being stars. Dreamy fancies refers to imagination that देखिए the poet starts daydreaming. और वो क्या कहता है कि into the busy being here refers to the mind and heart. Busy here because mind is occupied by different kinds of thoughts, and thus at that time when he listens to the pitter patter drops of rain, then he is getting the recollection. The imagination starts in his mind, busy mind, and 1,000 recollections. So the memory of past events, it starts to come again in his mind. They weave their air threads into roof, and I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. So the remembrances hai, he feels as if all the memories, they have interwoven themselves and they have started coming to his mind. सारी यादें जो हैं वो वापस ताज़ा हो गई हैं, एक दूसरे के साथ मानो जैसे एक धागे में पिरो कर वो सारी memories वापस आ गई हैं. And in the concluding stanza he says, now if memory comes my mother. अब उनको उन recollections के साथ अपनी माँ की भी याद वापस आती है. As she used in years agone. Agone means past years, the days which have passed now. To regard the darling dreamers. Again alliteration, the D sound repeated. Darling dreamers here refers to the children who are sleeping, the children of the mother, or we can say the poet's siblings here. Ere she left them till the dawn, oh, I feel her fond look on me, as I listen to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. And he remembers the affectionate look of his mother. जब यादें ताज़ा होती हैं, तो affectionate look जो है mother की, वो भी साथ में आती है कि कैसे जब हम सभी सो रहे होते थे, the mother would look at us, the look, affectionate look, the fond look of the mother, he still remembers that. And किस तरह से जब वो सो रहे होते थे at dawn, she would leave the sleeping children there and start with her daily chores. So as I listen to this refrain, list here refers to listen. Refrain means जो म्यूजिकल नोट जो लगातार चलती बज रही है उनके छतों पर, जो बारिश की बूंदों की जो आवाजें हैं, that is the refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. तो जैसे जैसे मैं उन टिप टिप बूंदों की आवाजों को सुन रहा है, I can see my mother's face there. I can feel her presence, the fond look, the affectionate look I can feel. And thus, the poet he starts missing his mother. Clear a bit of poem? Okay, now we will start with the question round. So first I'll start from the poem, The Road Not Taken. Are you ready?